Hello. What we're going to talk about today are opportunities. And before I get started on that, let me tell you a little story about myself and how things have worked out in my life. Um, I have been losing significant weight lately. Um, I've lost over 25%. That's a quarter of my body weight in this last year. You can pray for me all you want, but this was planned. This is nothing uh, that happened by accident. I'm not sick. I'm actually getting well from doing this, from losing this weight. Certain problems I've been having as a result of being heavy. Uh, Diabetes. My A1C is down in the lower end of the normal range, so that's really good. Um, it is medically supervised, so I'm not doing things on my own. Uh, let's see what else. All my other blood work looks really good. I had a test on my liver because I used to be diagnosed with a fatty liver, which is not a very healthy thing. That's going from fat. If you don't treat it or get it taken care of, it can start turning into cirrhosis, which is a bad thing. It means your liver is basically getting scarred up and dying. You need your liver. You only have one of them. So anyhow, that's all the positive stuff. But if you know anything about the law of polarity, whenever you have a good thing, you have a bad thing that comes along with it, and vice versa. So that's just part of life. That's part of how the universe works. Um, Not only did I find out that my jewelry, like my wedding ring, it was falling off this finger. I had no idea I had fat fingers because I carry all my weight in the middle. And I wear it in my middle finger. I'm not going to have anything resized until I get to what I consider homeostasis. Now, I've got a degree in psychology. I learned a lot of words in college, so I have a right to use these words I never use. But anyhow, when I get to the point where, as my doctor says, where you get to your own personal goals with weight loss and everything else, because this year I am planning on getting everything controlled by diet and exercise and getting off all these medications. They've already taken several medications away from me since the weight loss. A lot of the conditions that I had were as a result of being obese. So not only are my fingers smaller, but other things have gotten smaller. I have developed a bad case of bird legs. And what I mean by that is that I have lost so much um, fat and some muscle that when I sleep, I'm a side sleeper, my knees come together and it's extremely uncomfortable. It was keeping me awake at night. And I was thinking, what can I do until I can start building the muscle back up and to give myself some padding? So the first thing I thought of is just getting you know, like a hand towel, folding it up or wrapping it around my knee. And that works really good when I first went to bed. But after a while, during the night, it would slip off. I get a push the end of the bed down by my feet next to my wife or on the floor and wake up in pain and go try it again. And I thought, there's got to be a better way. And I remember these commercials way back when about leg pillows, and they were primarily for back sleepers, to bring your knees up so that you could have some support for your back. Well, I found a cheap solution and I got it on Amazon. Excuse me. I don't know if you can see this, but it's the Contour Leg Pillow. And it's for leg and knee pain, soothing relief for sciatica, had that, but not with this, for hips, knees, and joints. And it's kind of strange. It's kind of a wedge shape. You put this between your thighs, and you put this part down towards your knees and this part up higher, but just between your thighs. And I thought, it's kind of clunky. I thought that, I'll try it and maybe I'll wake up in the middle of the night and it'll be on the floor again. Well, the interesting thing about me, I don't know if it's about all side sleepers, put that between your legs and I turned over, it stayed there all night. I didn't lose it. And it's been such a godsend for me for sleeping. It's very soft, very warm, very fuzzy. I call it my teddy bear. I'm not going to tell you what my wife calls it, but anyhow, it's just amazing. And the reason why I bring that up to you is certain things. Number one, I don't know if you noticed, ever since we've had COVID, trying to find things to buy at the store, whether it's even food still, you go to a department store or like Walmart, um, their floor plan's not the same in every store. So you've been going to one, you go to another one, you got to learn it all over again. So in order to buy things, you have to drive. And even during not the holiday, you drive to the store, you get to the store, you find a parking place, and that takes some time. And you have to search around looking for things. And I've been noticing, even since we're way over COVID, it's still hard to find things, especially things that are new or stuff that you used to buy before COVID. And so what I thought is, I get really frustrated. I thought, I want to just start buying stuff online. And my wife and I have bought a lot of things on Amazon over the years, but I've become quite the regular shopper there because if I go to, say, Walmart and look for a pillow like that, I go online, they say they have it, but you go to the store, they don't have it. Well, 99.9% of the time when I go to Amazon, they have it. It may take up to a week to get, but usually it's a day or two or I can get it. So my point about that isn't about necessarily opportunity in finding things that you want to buy, yes, but time saving. Here's another thing. We buy groceries a lot from Costco. And so when I'm done ordering them, and they're same day, which is really nice, within a couple hours after order, they show up my front porch. But the thing is it always says how much time you save. Now that's shopping time, not driving, fighting for a parking place, fighting to get into the place, but it gets delivered to me. So anyhow, I'm really for this now. I used to be against it, but now I'm all about doing online stuff. It's faster, and I've had very few problems with it. So anyhow, getting back to this. Now, here's the opportunity. I listen to someone on YouTube quite a bit, Myron Golden. He has a lot of really cool stuff up there, and I'll put his link down below in the notes. And he talked about becoming an affiliate, which I am now, of Amazon. So this is how this works. If you look down in the show notes, you'll see I'll have a link for this pillow. I'm not selling this pillow, but let me tell you about the opportunity here. The opportunity is, if you're a member, like you have a user ID and password, you can become an affiliate. And all an affiliate really is a way of making a commission on things that you buy. So for instance, I'm going to put this in the show notes. And so if you were to go there and you're interested in it, even if you don't buy, you can click on that link and it'll take you to Amazon and it'll show you basically the same page I got here. And if you were to buy the pillow there through my link, it's the same as if you went to Amazon and looked it up and bought it that way. There's no price difference for a consumer. However, I do get a little bit of money back if you buy it through my link. It's like getting a commission being a salesperson. So am I doing it because that's going to be my new income source? Oh, heck no. It's just another passive income stream that I can get that, it's nice to have some extra bucks, right? So, but I mean, there's some people that make a lot of money doing this. They get online and they sell whatever. It's like, I bought this hat or whatever. But anyhow, it's an opportunity for everyone. You can set that up, put that link in like, if you're on YouTube, you can put it in your link for your videos. If you're on other social media, if you have a website where you have, sell your stuff yourself, or if you have a blog, you can do that. And if someone clicks your link and goes and buys that thing, some of that money, that sales money, comes back to you. So that's an opportunity. But I gotta tell you, I'm sold on this. It costs $25 now. When I got it, it was 20. But, again, let's talk about saving time. Amazon also has a real easy way to return things. Say if I got that and I tried it one night, and it made things worse. I didn't like it. I want to send it back. It's really easy to send it back. Unlike going to a Walmart or some other department store to where, I don't know if theirs is right by the cash registers when you first come in. Some department stores will have their customer service in the back away from everybody. But, I don't think the last time I've walked by customer service in Walmart, there wasn't a line at least 10 plus deep. So there's time. There's time for driving. There's time for bringing it back, blah, 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 blah. Amazon, it's really easy. You stick it back in the container it came in. You can print out a return sticker, stick it onto that. While you're out and about doing other things, stop at the UPS store, you drop it off, they can give you a receipt, so you can track it, or they'll just take it, and within a few days, you'll get a refund or a credit to your account. Very easy. But anyhow, that's the opportunity, is that if you can get into that program, which costs you nothing, okay? It doesn't cost you a dime. Get set up, and you never know. I mean, they give you different kind of percentages on the money back, depending on what kind of product it is. I think one of the higher ones are electronics. So like, as I'm building up this video thing I'm doing, I'll probably, if there's some products I buy from them for doing my videos in my studio, I'll put it up there, and I'll, make more money that way. Okay, so we're done with that. The next thing I want to talk about is where we are right now, which I call the University of YouTube. Now, there's a way to also monetize this. There are some requirements, and I will put that on the show notes below. But what it comes down to, you need a certain amount of subscribers, a certain amount of hours of people watching your videos to get to a threshold. Now, again, I was telling you about Myron Golden. I also learned this from him. What he used to do, now to get started on this is kind of like what I've been doing. I'm slowly getting better doing this, is that he was doing something that he did anyhow. He did a weekly Bible study. And so like I'm doing now, he just got his phone or his camera set up on a tripod and just recorded it. He wanted to get his teachings out to more people than the people that were attending his meetings. And he'd been doing it for years. And one of his kids came up to him, kids, they know the latest and greatest, and told him, Dad, have you monetized this? And he goes, what do you mean monetize this? Well, you go in here and you go click, click, and next thing you know, the next month, they're gonna pay you money back. And he goes, what? Yeah. So anyhow, he'd been doing it for years. So he had the threshold already. All he had to do was like turn on the button, turn on the money. And so, and obviously I'm not there yet. If you look at my followers and subscribers and time, I don't have that yet. But let me tell you something about how YouTube works and how I highly recommend it. If you've got anything you do in your life, whether it's a hobby, like this one gal I was watching, she's bakes cakes and decorates cakes. That's what she really enjoys. So she started a channel to where she's talking about how she does it, where she gets her ideas, the whole bit. And if you look at her channel, it's exploded. Now, I've got to remember what her name was. If I can, I'll get it down in the show notes. But, if you look at how many followers she has, we're talking millions, okay? So, how does the money thing work? Well, when you watch videos, as you're aware, every once in a while the video will stop and then an advertisement will come up. Well, that's how YouTube makes its money. Okay, it's just like TV. How much does it cost for a 30-second commercial in the Super Bowl game? Millions, okay? Why? Because you are getting your message out to a lot of eyeballs. So the more eyeballs you get, in other words, the number of subscribers, the number of views, and the length of the views tells the algorithms that people are watching you. And so there are other algorithms that go to the advertisers, and they start figuring out, okay, on Don's videos, this is the demographic, so they know what kind of videos will support their product. Now, this is really interesting, and the gal I was just talking about, when she got to her level, advertisers will start a bidding war. It's like, I want to be the one to advertise on this channel. And so the money goes up. Well, how do you get the money? Well, the thing is once you have become monetized on YouTube, when people put advertisements on your videos, depending on how many hours and everything else, you get that money. Not all of it, but you get a big chunk of it. And once a month, YouTube will transfer that money over to you. So here's the thing. You're already doing stuff you like to do, like me. I like doing this. I love to teach. Before COVID, I used to teach Cash Flow 101 game and some other things at the local library. But here's the deal. That game, every time you have a session of it, it takes about 3 hours. You've got time in advance where you are preparing for it, like all the materials, pens, pencils, erasers, paper, handouts, things like that. You got to get with the library and set up a room. You got to advertise. Same thing when I did it at the college. You know, I couldn't do it like if I wanted to make a few extra bucks this weekend. I just couldn't go to college and say, can I have a room? I got a cash flow game I want to do. You have to schedule that way in advance for like the next semester, and there's deadlines. You got to drive there, you got to park there. I mean, there's a lot of time and expense and effort to make that happen. The things I used to teach in those classes that would take so much time, so much of my preparation, everything like that, I can do on YouTube in the comfort of my own home office. I don't have to drive anywhere, and I can make the recordings anytime I want. In the middle of the night, like when my wife's asleep, I can come to my office and record these and set them out to come out on a Monday or whenever. Okay, so the level of effort is much lower. So anyhow, there's things you do. You like to teach, you know, say if you're a craftsman and you say do woodwork and you do art with your wood, or you make really cool furniture, whatever, just turn the camera on and get started. It's free to get started. You just, you know, there's ways you can learn about starting a channel, upload your videos and get started. And even if you're not making money right off the bat, you are doing the things you already do. You're just turning the camera on. Okay, so that's number 2. Now, the last one I want to talk about, let's see here, I got my pens here, see if I got focus on over here. Yeah, see if, just test that out. Okay, one of my real estate mentors back in the day has a story about when he started. And he was going to college, and he was very interested in doing real estate because he did construction, so he knows houses, things like that. He learned that he could rent a house and then rent it out to other students, and eventually, because he had enough income from subbing that out, they were actually paying for his rent. So he thought, wow, this is really cool, I gotta learn about this. So I don't remember this part of the story. It was a long time ago, and when he was in college, it was back in the 70s. But he heard about this phenomenal real estate agent. His coworkers called him a ghost because he was never in the office. He would work all day out of his car or from his home. This is before cell phones, knocking on doors, things like that. There wasn't the internet. And he would come back late at night and drop off a pile of paperwork for his assistant to go through and process, you know, like contracts, things like that. So anyhow, to make a long story short, he was basically ambushed the guy. He stayed there late at night, and he asked the people that ran the office if he could be inside. So he was inside the office with the light off. So the guy came in, like 11 o'clock, midnight, whatever, and turned on the light, and there was my mentor there, and scared the crap out of him, needless to say. But anyhow, he said, you know, I hear you know all these things. I really want to work with you. I want to learn everything you know, and you know, would you take me under your wing? And after, you know, several nights of him basically saying no, he finally said, you know what, I'm going to test you. I want to give you your first assignment. He says, whatever you want. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. He says, you go to college, right? He says, yeah. So you go about every day? Oh, yeah. He says, you drive from your apartment to school, right? He says, yeah. Okay, I want you to count how many houses are for sale. He says, oh, piece of cake, I'll do that. So anyhow, the next morning, he gets in his car, and he thought, well, let's see here. Let me drive up my usual way to school, and then I'll drive a different way back and see how many I get. So, let's say this is his house, and this is school. So as he's driving along, going down different streets, gets to school, and while he's going, he's counting all the for sale signs. Because he thought that's is a sign that a house is for sale, right? I used to think that too. So he would do that, and then in the afternoon, coming home, he would take a different route and go back and count the other for sale signs. So that night, when he met up with his mentor to be, he asked him, well, how many houses for sale did you find? He says, well, about 20. I took some side streets and so I could see if there was more there. And the guy laughed at him and says, no, you're wrong. I said, what do you mean? They're for sale signs. He says, everything's for sale. Now, why did I tell you this? It's because it's how you look at things, okay? They call it mindset. The reason why I said everything's for sale is because when you're in that field, especially back then, nowadays they've got things online that could help you out, but back in the day, it was sending out flyers and knocking on doors, things like that, because you never know. People may be ready to sell, but they haven't called a real estate agent. They don't know who to call, whatever. And so what it is basically you start learning things about how do houses look. Are they in, say, low repair, or the grass in the front yard's up to your eyeballs, whatever. But what he's trying to tell him was, someone's already got those tied up in contract. If you want it, you either have to bring a buyer to it to buy that property, or if you want to be on the seller's side, you have to find out how to get there. So he starts changing his mindset about what it means to sell things. And so getting into the opportunity side, when you start looking for ways, no matter how small it is, to have a side hustle or make a few bucks, whether you drive for Uber or you deliver groceries or food, or doing the thing with YouTube and with Amazon. I didn't know those things existed until I watched, Myron Golden's thing. I started learning about this kind of stuff. I never would have known. Now that I know that it's possible, if I were to get more into, say, Facebook or into Instagram or something else, I will have my eye scanning to see if there's a way to monetize whatever I do there as well. So the mindset is being open, looking to the sides, instead of looking straight ahead, looking for ways you can monetize or make an extra buck. Especially today, a lot of the stuff we do is free. You don't have to buy into some subscription service and, what is it called? Multi-level marketing. You have to put money up front to start doing that, and you may not be successful. Like here on YouTube, if I'm not successful with this, I'm still doing what I enjoy to do. I'm not losing anything, and there was no money up front. So keep your eyes open for possibilities of other opportunities. Here's one last thing, but before I go, about looking for opportunities. I tend to be always the driver when I go places, okay? When you're a driver, your eyes are straight ahead, you're looking at your mirrors, whatever. You're not looking at the scenery per se. I notice just about every time I'm the passenger and someone else is driving, especially on a route that I've been on 100 times, I start seeing things I've never seen before. I said, well, where's that building come from? It looks kind of old. Was that always there? Oh yeah, never saw it. When you start to know what to look for, you will find things. And when it comes to opportunities, they are everywhere. So anyhow, I want to wrap that up. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. In the meantime, look for the opportunities. Take care.